I just recently posted up my thoughts and kind of reflections on my performance at Blood and Steel, and it made me think it's probably a good idea to do a video on some of my habits for post-fight, the things that I try to take care of within the next day of fighting at an event. And it's going to be a really quick video. It really comes down to two things. One is quick armor maintenance, so I'm going to just address this quickly. As you can hear, I lost my voice a little bit yelling so much at Blood and Steel, which was our the New England Regional Championship. We did 10-man fights, so 10v10. It was awesome. New England Executioners fought the Texas Warlords, who were fantastic. They all flew in / drove up here to fight with us in New Hampshire. It was a great experience. Well, the first thing is armor maintenance. So within the next day, and ideally same day, I want to get all of my armor pulled out, laid out, and oiled. I can't stress this enough. It avoids having rust. People use different things. WD-40 is used, but I don't recommend it. It dries out kind of quickly. Then there's a lot of people use 3-in-1 oil. I've used 3-in-1 oil for a while. It works pretty good. I've heard REM oil or any gun oil also great. There's a couple other things that I'll be trying and doing a review on as I use them and have a little more experience. But the 3-in-1 oil does work. So for me, it's really important in the first day, ideally night of, to get my armor out of its box, all laid out, and a coat of oil on it. I'm not worried about repairs or fixing things, but just keeping the rust away. So please do that. Take care of your kit. It'll last you longer. And then you can also see at that point any damage or things that need to be fixed, mark it down so you remember to do it again before the next fight. Okay, that's great. So that's the physical stuff I got to take care of. Same with your weapons, oil your weapons, right? So I put a nice oil coat on this little falchion here. The next thing is reflections. I find it very important to quickly write down my thoughts and feelings on my performance, because that gets skewed pretty quickly. As stories get told, as experiences get shared, as you reflect, you remember certain moments in the fight that were your highlights or maybe your lowlights. You can really skew your understanding of how the fight went, right? So I want those first thoughts to be down pretty quickly within a day. And I break it down into the same thing I do actually in real life at my real job as a manager is start, stop, continue. So, or, positives and then areas of opportunity, however you want to do it. But here's the things that I started to do that I liked, that I want to keep doing, the things I'm going to continue doing, and here's the things that I need to stop doing. This one in particular, I just did, strengths and opportunities, or strengths and weaknesses, if you're happy to call it that. So what does that mean? It means I wrote down reflections on what I thought I did well, what I needed to improve on, and also what were the things that I was focused on doing in this fight, and did I succeed at those goals or not? So for me, to kind of break it down quickly, at Blood and Steel, what did I do well? I had 3 great rounds, I think, with good rounds, I didn't say great, but good rounds with hand axe and shield. My focus was on fighting that on the weekend, and I dropped it pretty quickly and went back to my 2-handed axe because I wanted to chop. So instead of focusing on what I wanted to get better at, I went back to old reliable. So it's an area that I did well in. There's an opportunity to continue that pattern. Again, if I'd been doing poorly at it, maybe I should have switched weapons, but I wasn't. What else did I do well? Well, my chopping was great. It was the best I've ever done in fights. I got more one-shot takedowns with an axe. I got to fight polearm in the 10v10s. I did great with that until I snapped it. So that was awesome. Yay for me. I feel like I did good there. What did I not do well? For me, the one thing that I noticed was I'm still fighting very much waist up. So a lot of, even my throws, I got a decent amount of takedowns from throws, but they were all using this core and up to rotate and throw. No real legs. I wasn't kicking, no kneeing, no trips. So people aren't fighting me and worried about my legs in a melee. Weirdly, in night fights, I use them all the time. I love throwing kicks and stuff when a one-on-one fight. But in that melee, I was very much waist up. So an area I've been practicing, I'm getting better at it, but I do need to improve upon. So, I think the point is not really looking at this particular fight for me, because I can talk forever about how I felt. But it's the concept of taking those moments and writing them down and documenting them works really well for me. And sharing them, if you have a place, if you have a team chat or a place you want to share your reflections, really is to help keep that as clear as possible. So as the stories get told, as your mind changes, experiences, it looks different. Then, if there's fight video, in this case there were clips, so not a full video, I'm going to watch those clips and I'm going to see if I'm noticing the things that I felt. So did I said, oh, my chopping was great, I felt good. When I watched the video and you see me swing an axe, did I really hit hard? Is my rotation there? Are my hands in the right placement? Am I landing good blows? Or did I just have that feeling, right? So I'm reflecting on my own accuracy of my experiences and what I thought well, because that in-brain fight is what matters. When you're in that fight, you can't change what's happening live. You've got to be conscious of how you feel and acting upon that. See, I want to condition that brain to be as realistic as possible. So if I think I'm doing something well, I can trust that I am doing it well. So I'm going to watch those fights and look for those areas of strength. I'm going to look for those areas of opportunity. When did I get thrown? What did I do wrong? In particular, there was one throw where I felt the throw go wrong and I knew I was going down. I had bad foot positioning. I could feel it. I got to watch the clip and say, yeah, I was right. That's where my foot should have been. I was off balance here. And that's going to help me learn not to do that again next time. I'm going to have the emotional and cognitive thought process, and I'm going to have the realistic view of watching it, and I can combine all those. So post-fight reflection for me is really important. And I think everyone should do it after every match that they have, even a practice, armored practice. Go back and reflect on it, write it down, talk about your strengths and weaknesses, see where you're improving. That's what all this video is. It's just a little tactic that's been working well for me. It helps me feel a lot better about my growth and helps me understand the areas that I need to really focus on and continue training. Thank you. If you liked the video, if you want to see more of my stuff, you can like, subscribe, leave comments, please. Share it if you want to anyone else. Because the more we can grow these types of videos and grow the community, the more people we can have join, the more big fights we can have, like the awesome 10-man matches we had here in New England this past weekend.